Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Is there something that you really want? Are you looking around your room, your office, your home, your vehicle, and deciding that there's got to be more to life? Bob Proctor taught me that in order to get what you want, you have to become the version of you that is in alignment with whatever it is you want. Now, that might sound weird or it might sound kind of simple, but if you want to be loved, if you want to find the love of your life, if you want to feel what it's like to love another person, you have to become lovable first. You have to know that you are worthy of love and you are a divine spark of universal energy, or you might say God. You are infinite love. Infinite love is available to you. You might have grown up with the idea that you're not lovable, you're not worthy. And that's such a shame because each one of us has been programmed by people who didn't understand the laws of the universe, didn't know that we attract what we're in harmony with. You have to be in the state of being whatever it is that you want in order for it to appear in your life. You want to be at peace. You can't watch the constant negative news on TV and talk about the wars that are going on and the violence and the craziness and feel at peace. You have to get into the spirit of the state desired by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already in the state of being at peace, loved, happy, joyful, prosperous, wealthy, whatever it is that you want. You have to be aware of what that feels like. And through your feeling, you attract all the resources, all the people, all the circumstances and opportunities that are necessary for you to get what you want. And we don't really get what we want. We receive what we are in harmony with. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. In the Neville Goddard book, Feeling is the Secret, he tells us to get into the spirit of the state desired by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you want to be. As you capture the feeling of the state sought, you are relieved of all effort to make it so, for it is already so. There is a definite feeling associated with every idea in the mind of mankind. Capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours, you are already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify itself. It means it will become physical reality. It is not hidden from sight anymore. It is an object that you can taste, touch, smell, feel, hold in your hand, see it with your eyes, show other people. You know, a smell can take you back to your grandmother's kitchen or to a loved one, to a special place that you visited. We have five senses. Our smell can trigger memories. When I worked as a brain injury specialist for an insurance company, I found out that some people ended up with a brain injury that caused anosmia. That's the loss of sense of taste and smell. And they would eat their favorite food, a steak or a hamburger, and it would taste like cardboard, but they could remember what the favorite food tasted like. And so they would eat it based on what they remembered it tasting and smelling like. It didn't bring back the taste or the smell, but they still had the feeling as if they were enjoying it. Your human mind is miraculous. You can think up whatever you want, and most people use it against themselves. They worry about the worst that could happen, and the more they worry and doubt and get anxious and depressed, the more evidence appears for them to confirm they're not crazy. They really are negative and worried and anxious, because your mind and your body want to be congruent. You don't want to think you're crazy. But when you start to decide what it is that you want and what it would be like, you can start to imagine, you can start to practice and rehearse. If I wanted to be on a beach in Hawaii, I could look up pictures. I could check the internet. I could Google. I could look through books and travel brochures. I could talk to people that have been there. I could get a picture of the most beautiful beach and put it on my cell phone and computer as a screensaver. I could have a vision board. I could do so much research and then just sit quietly and imagine being there. If you've ever been to the ocean or to a lake, you might remember what it smells like. You might remember hearing the walking calls of seagulls or that fishy smell. You might pretend that you're walking along the beach and the sand is so powdery and beautiful, you're just sinking into it. If you've ever been to a beach when it was really hot out, you know how fast your feet can feel like they're burning and tingling from the heat of the sand from the hot sun. You can visualize yourself walking on the hot sand and going to the edge of the water and let the cool water lap up onto your toes. Walk along in the water and your feet sink in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the soft breeze blowing and hear it blowing through the palm trees. Maybe you have a taste associated with being at the ocean or the beach or your lake. You could pretend that you're having an ice cream cone or a pineapple on the beach in Hawaii. Make it so real that when you look around, when you open your eyes, it's a shock that you're not sitting on the beach. Feeling connected to what you really desire and doing that more and more often, and so deeply feeling it. Maybe write it down on a card and carry it with you. And every time you reach in your pocket or your purse and you touch that card, there is a neural connection between your fingertips and your brain, and it reminds you Oh, yes, that's what we're working toward. That's where we're going. That's going to feel so good. Neville Goddard says faith is feeling. In the Bible, Matthew 9:29, according to your faith or your feeling, be it unto you. You never attract that which you want, but always that which you are. As a person is, so does he see. In Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they all say, to him that hath it shall be given, and to him that hath not it shall be taken away. Now that's not to say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's to where are your thoughts going? What direction are you facing? Are you looking at solutions on what it's like to be on that beach in Hawaii? Or are you looking in the other direction? I don't have time, I don't have money, I have all these bills, there's never enough. I'm working hard, I never have time. There is a totally opposite flow of energy. And the more you look at lack and limitation and give all the reasons and excuses why you're poor, why you can't go on a trip, and the more valid the reason, the more convinced you are it's not going to happen. And of course it's not going to happen, because according to your feeling, according to your faith, is what shows up in your life, what's done to you, what you believe you receive. Neville Goddard says, that which you feel yourself to be, you are, and you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish, and your wish must be realized. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. That's from Genesis. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. That's Philippians. You are that which you believe yourself to be. Now he also says, instead of believing in God or in Jesus, believe that God or Jesus are in you. You are a spark of that energy. You are infinite. John 14:12, he that believeth in me, the works that I do, shall he do also. Jesus said, what I'm capable of, you can create even more. Whether you believe in the Bible or in God, if you look back to how the world was 2,000 years ago compared to what it's like in 2025, all the conveniences, all the inventions, all the things that have been created, it wasn't created by magic, by waving a magic wand. That was created by people thinking about solutions. What would I really want? You're not driving around in a horse and buggy. You're driving around in a motorized vehicle that was created out of someone's imagination. And it's changed since the 1800s and the 1900s. The vehicles of 1967 are different than the vehicles in 2023. It comes from deciding how you want your life to flow, be easy. What would be more convenient? How could this be done differently? How could this be done better? That's one of the gifts of the forest fires in the north or the pandemic. These things bring to light the problems in the current organization, the current way government is run, the current way that education or healthcare systems are practiced. They bring to light the problems, and bringing to light the problems is the way to create something better, something different, something that flows. Our healthcare system is different than it was in the 1940s, different than it was in the 1700s. So I want you to think about not looking at the problem as, this is horrible and horrendous and it's and blaming, but look at what could be done differently. How could we help more people in a faster, easier way? What's the solution? Facing toward the solution, relaxing, becoming at ease, expressing well-being, that opens your mind up to ideas coming from seemingly out of the blue. They're not coming from out of the blue, but they do look like they're coming from nothing. All of a sudden you get a spark of an idea because you were relaxed and you tapped into that energy of infinite possibilities, infinite solutions, infinite love. You tap into the energy that creates worlds, tap into the universal mind that takes calming down your physical body and focusing on what you want with the feeling that you already have it. And then ideas come to you. And as you string together a bunch of thoughts and ideas, pretty soon you are living in your dream goal. You are living in the house that you always wanted. You are visiting the beach that you dreamed of. Live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. When a person believes in the value of the advice that's given him and applies it, he establishes within himself the reality of success. But what does success mean to you? It doesn't mean sitting on a big bag of money. But if you want to not worry about paying your bills and having debt, if you want to have the freedom of financial security, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Maybe you do some research. What do wealthy people invest in? Maybe you start with setting aside 10% of your income and investing, having someone with specialized knowledge do it for you, and believing, realizing that money is energy and it grows. The things that grow bigger in our lives are the things that we focus on. If you're focused on debt and poverty and lack and limitation, you see so much evidence that proves you're not crazy. What do you really want? If you want to be loved, you need to become the person that is believing that you are worthy of love, knowing that you came from infinite love. You came from a spark of universal energy. You are a soul, a spirit, a divine energetic being, and you are living here on this earth in a physical body. We live on 3 planes of understanding, that invisible, spiritual, imaginative world that you can create in your mind, a fantasy. And the more you focus on what it would be like, what it would feel like, how that would change your world, how well you would be living, how much more you could do for your loved ones, for less fortunate people, for your community, for yourself. What do you really want? And as you get into that feeling as if, into that knowing that it's yours, it's in your imagination, it's in your mind, you wouldn't want it if it wasn't meant for you. The trick is to stay in the feeling as if you've already got it. And then when it turns into physical reality, into matter, it doesn't really matter that much to you because you felt so good, so wonderful, so loved, so healthy, so prosperous, so at ease. Things just keep coming into your life that even seem better than you imagined. You are co-creating your life. Every day you're creating your life. Are you creating it from the same place as yesterday and the day before and last year and 10 years ago? From that feeling of lack and limitation, or from the feeling of the wish fulfilled? The future becomes your present as you think, feel, and do. So then you want to ask yourself, what am I thinking? How am I feeling? What behaviors are creating my world, my reality? What if I decided, what do I really want? And spend some time writing it down, writing a story about it, writing what it would feel like. Not using negative language. I'm not going to be angry. I don't want this. I'll be happy when I get rid of that. But getting into the feeling of, what do you want? Why do you want it? I think sometimes we decide we really want a trip to Hawaii, or we want a particular vehicle, or, oh, wouldn't that be nice to have the job that that person has? That would make me happy. I'll be happy when I have a new car. I'll be happy when. If you're happy and you focus on being happy and fulfilled and having faith, that's how you attract everything that you want. That's how you attract love and joy, prosperity, the idyllic life, joyful way you want to be living, by feeling what that would be like, by spending more time writing about it, practicing it, holding it on the screen of your mind, and then playing the part like an actor. Act as if you already have your goal. And I'm not talking about spending the money that's not there. I'm talking about, how would you be acting if you weren't worried about money? How would you be acting if you could go out and buy whatever you wanted? Now, buying whatever you want and lavishing gifts on loved ones is not the way necessarily to show love, but it sure feels better than not having enough. in Zechariah 4:6, the quote is, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord of hosts." Get into the spirit of the state desired by assuming the feeling that would be yours. Were you already the one you want to be? How excited, how comfortable, how at peace, how full of well-being, at ease, creative, loved. As you capture the feeling of the state of being that you're seeking, you don't have to fight or do or worry or force. You are relieved of all effort to make it so. It's already in your beautiful mind. Get into the feeling of every cell of your body magnetized to that feeling as if you're already there, already done, already that version of you is loved, is passionately living your purpose, enjoying your work, enjoying your day, expressing the state of being that you really want. Whatever is inside is what is expressed. Express the feeling of happiness, joy, faith, well-being, and then your outside world will change. It takes practice, it takes focused attention, it takes holding that image on the screen of your mind, getting into alignment in your heart. And as ideas come to you, write them down, take action on them, change your behavior, change your actions, and everything that you dream of will be yours. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.